Alright, this is the 5th episode in my journey in math of the first season, Arithmetic, and today we are going to learn a method for checking arithmetic called casting out nines. And I'm going to briefly explain what we do. I'm not going to prove why it works, because a proof for why it works is pretty much 3rd or 4th level college math. So you're just going to have to take faith that it works. In most cases, there are cases where this method doesn't work, and they are very few and far between. And I'm not going to show examples where they don't work, because throughout my math life and journey, there have been very, very, very few times where this method fails to work. So casting out nines. So what we're going to do when we cast out the nines, and I know I haven't taught division yet, but we are going to take the number, say we have a number, and we're going to cast the nines out of it. Say we have the number 979. Without learning how to divide, I want to teach you how to do this. When you cast the nines out of a number, you take the number and you divide it by 9, and when you cast out the nines, you find the remainder. Okay? And I'm not going to do it, I'm just going to show you how easy. The remainder is 7. Okay, because if you take the nines out, you're left with, if you take the nines out, you're left with 7. Okay? So if I said cast the nines out of this number, the result would be 7. And okay, I can do it real quick just to show you that the result is 7 for those that don't believe me. So we have 7 here, and that'd be 0, 79, be 8, 72, remainder 7. Okay, I haven't taught that yet, but it's just for those that go, alright, that's too easy. Well, it is 7. So what are we doing when we cast out nines? We are, in effect, subtracting the nines out of the digit. So let's say we have the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and I want to cast the nines out. Okay, so we can add up 1 and 2 is 3, and 3 and 3 is 6, and 6 and 4 is 10. If I take the nines out of 10, I'm left with 1, and 1 plus, so let me write a little 1 up here. If I take, and 1 plus 6 is 7. So if I cast the nines out of this number, I get 7. Okay? There's several methods of doing this. I use combinations of the two. Well, if you see something like this, and you want to cast the nines out, well, 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9, and 6 plus 3 is 9, so all this becomes 0. Once you get 9, you take them away and you go back to 0, and all that's left is 4, so if you cast the nines out of this number, you get 4. 31, there aren't any nines, 3 plus 1 is 4, so if you cast the nines out, you get 4. And if you think 9 times 3 is 27, and 31 minus 27 is 4, so it works. It works. Let me think of some other. Sometimes you can. This one would be might be 14. If you add all the digits, you get 14. And you could either subtract 9, 14 minus 9 is 5, or you can add the digits together again and get 5. So you can, subtract, there's 2 ways to do this. Subtract nines out of the digits, or 2, repeatedly add all the digits until you get 1 digit. Let me use this one as an example here. If I add all the digits, I get 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 6 is 16, and 1 plus 6 is 7. Okay? Let's see, how about some let's try it with this way. Even though I already know that the answer is 4, we'll try it using the digits way, because some people don't see the patterns of 9 as easy as I do. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. Instantly, when you get 9, you should go back to 0. But let's just say you didn't know that. And 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 and 3 is 18. And 18 and 4 is 22. And 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, so there's several ways of casting out 9s. Now let me explain where we're going to cast out 9s. Let's say we're going to add 44. 31 and 44, and I want to check my work. Okay, so this is a process. This casting out 9s, you use it to check your work. Of course, you could use a calculator to check your work, but if you had a calculator, you'd be using the calculator to add 31 and 44, right? So this is, if you don't have a calculator. Okay, so we're going to cast the 9s out of 31. 3 plus 1 is 4, so if we cast the 9s out of this first add end, we get 4. And on this one, 4 plus 4 is 8, so casting the 9s out of this one, we get 8. Okay, so let's add these digits, add these numbers. So we add those up, we get 75. Alright, so now I want to check if these two add up to be this. Okay, so if I add these two numbers that I casted the 9s out of, I get 12, and I cast the 9 out of 12, I get 3. Well, it just so happens that if you cast the 9s out of the answer, 7 plus 5 is 12, and 1 plus 2 is 3. They should be the same. If they're not the same, then you added incorrectly. And the only time that this will get you, let's just say, here's an example where casting out 9s doesn't work. Let's say you added these up and you got 975. Okay, if you casted the 9s out there, you would still get 3, and that would be obviously incorrect. But this method, casting out 9s, is used to check because usually when you add or something wrong, you're off by a digit or 2, or maybe 3. And that's these little errors that casting out 9s will check. Okay, let's look at some more examples. Let's look at the one that we did the other day when we added 4 numbers in the last lecture. 31, 68, 39, and 72. Let me add these up real quick. Again, in case you didn't see the last lecture where I added these up. 1 plus 9 is 10, and 8 plus 2 is 10. So 10 plus 10 is 20. Write down the 0 and carry the 2. 7 plus 3 is 10. Always look for patterns of 10 first. So 7 plus 3 is 10, and 6 is 16. 16 and 3 is 19, and 2 is 21. So 210. Okay, so we're going to check this using casting out 9s. So 3 and 1 is 4. 6 and 8 is 14. And 1 plus 4 is 5. Or 14 minus 9 is 5, however you want to do it. We cast the 9s out of this one. That one's easy. That's 3. Because if I take the 9 out, I have 3. And 7 plus 2 is 9. And 9 goes back to 0. So when we add these up, well, 4 and 5 is 9. So the cast out 9s of the add-ins is 3. And 2 plus 1 is 3. And those are the same, so I am correct. And let me do this on the calculator just to show that we are correct here. Okay, let's see. 31 plus 6. See, it's faster to even cast out 9s than it is to type it in on the calculator. Okay, 210. Alright, let's look at one more example. Alright, this is, if you're taking a test where you can't use a calculator and you have to add these up, you might want to know if you're right or not. Okay, so let's add these up, and then we'll check our work. Okay, 2 plus 7 is 9, and 9 plus 2 is 1. Carry a 1. 1 plus 8 is 9, and 9 and 11, 8 plus 3 is 11, is 20. Carry a 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 and 6 is 11, and 11 and 3 is 14. Carry a 1. 8 plus 8 is 16. Carry a 1. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is 7, and 4 plus 3 is 7, and one more is 8. Okay, so we're going to check and see if I got this right using casting out 9s. Okay, so looking at this digit, I can see that there's a 9 right there. 7 plus 2 is 9. 8 and 1 is 9, so 3 and 4 is 7. Okay, so you see how I got rid of the 9s in the digit first? Alright, let's look at this. 6 and 3 is 9. 8 and 1 is 9. And you normally would do this in your head. You wouldn't cross out the numbers. And then 4 and 7 is 11, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. So when we cast out the 9s there, we get 2. Let's see here. We got 3 plus 2 is 5, and 4 is 9. And 3 plus 4 is 7, and one more is 8. Okay, so when we cast these out, we're going to get 8. Why? Because 7 plus 2 is 9, and all that's left is 8. So our answer should be 8, or we're not correct. So let's see. Well, 8 plus 1 is 9, so we can get rid of that. 6 and 4 is 10. 10 and 7 is 17. And 1 plus 7 is 8. So I can assume that we're correct. Let's check it on the calculator and see if we were right. Now remember, this method is if you don't have a calculator, which some tests don't let you use a calculator. You can always use this casting out 9s method for 876401. Okay, so that's how we cast out 9s using addition. Where else can you use casting out 9s? Well, we can use it for addition. The opposite of addition is subtraction, so of course you can use it for subtraction. You just do it backwards. And when I teach subtraction, I will discuss how we cast out 9s. Of course, multiplication, and this is of whole numbers, not of decimals. Actually, I think multiplication works with decimals, but not division. But I've never used it for decimals. Multiplication, division with remainders, and exponents. So this is very handy because you're going to use this a lot when you calculate things, how to check these. So that's how you cast out 9s. I look forward to you in the next lecture where we'll discuss how to subtract and some properties of subtraction. I look forward to it, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and throw me a thumbs up, and subscribe for future updates. We'll see you soon, friends. Thanks for watching.